Myself F22 and my boyfriend M21 have been going out for 2.5 years. The other day he got a notification from a girl, and when I asked about it he said it was a Reddit notification and that there was no way of seeing the notification in the app. Could this be possible? The notification was orange and didn't have an app name or logo on it. All it said was "smile from Lindsay." When I asked about it he said he didn't know what it was and then swiped it away and said it was a comment from a Reddit post. I then asked to see it in Reddit and he said it wouldn't come up in the app, that I'd have to scroll through the entire post. I since downloaded Reddit and see that you can see recent activity from posts on the app. What should I do? Too long didn't read. We had a bit of a rough patch around Christmas, but now things are better. This happened about a month ago and it just recently came into my head and is not bothering me. He would be able to bring it up and show it to you if it was Reddit. Snapchat use the only app that really deletes stuff. Orange? If you're thinking dating app, it could have been Tinder, maybe Bumble. The only truly orange dating app I can think of is Field, and that's for threesomes almost exclusively. You are making things harder by not talking to him. Communication is key. I understand you look for guidance and tips from users here, but honestly, you guys have been dating for over 2 years. Walk up to him and ask him who that was and where it was from. No need to play Sherlock Holmes and investigate what it could be. Simply go and talk to him about it. But she tried asking him repeatedly. No. Seems like he's lying to her face. Communication isn't key when one person is lying. Did it say you/Lindsay or just Lindsay? I think you're about 14 years too late for you/Lindsay. I quickly scrolled through the comments and didn't see this answer posted. Ask him for his username and look through his profile. You can see every comment and post he's ever made and every reply to those comments. You just can't see messages or chats. Would it be rude to call my roommate out for her annoying alarm clock habits? For background, my roommate and I are college students and we live in university housing. We have separate bedrooms, but they're small and right next to each other, only separated by a thin wall. We're also not really friends, we just got randomly placed together, and she almost never speaks to me. This semester my roommate started doing something incredibly annoying. Starting at maybe 7 to 8 AM, she sets an alarm literally every hour or half hour. She lets it ring for 10 to 15 minutes each time. I'm a light sleeper, so this really annoys me. Plus my earliest class is 11 AM, so I enjoy sleeping in, but this kind of ruins it for me. She keeps setting these alarms until around noon. I don't want to seem controlling or anything. Maybe she's a heavy sleeper and genuinely can't hear her alarms. Would it be rude to say something? How should I approach it? Too long didn't read. My roommate sets multiple alarms every morning and lets them ring for 10 to 15 minutes at a time. I find this extremely annoying for obvious reasons. Would it be rude to call her out? Edit. By call her out I didn't mean rudely confront her like some people thought, I just meant talk to her about it. I really don't like any kind of confrontation at all, I just didn't know how else to word it. If something someone does is impinging on your quality of life, then it's not rude to say something. What would be unproductive would be to not say something, and then get more and more frustrated and resentful that the behavior continued, because if the person has no knowledge of the fact that they are bothering you, they don't have the opportunity to change their behavior so that they are no longer bothering you. Just bring it up calmly and directly at some point. Hey, roommate, I wanted to let you know that because of how thin the wall is between our two rooms, I can hear your alarm when it goes off, and it makes it difficult for me to sleep, even though I don't have early classes and would prefer to sleep a bit later than you do. Can we figure out a way for you to be able to get up on time in the morning that isn't so loud that it wakes me several times? You might suggest something like a fitness or smartwatch that has a vibration alarm. I have one of these, so that when I have to get up at unreasonably early hours for work on occasion, my alarm does not wake my wife. I would also suggest getting a fan or white noise machine for yourself. If possible, move your bed as far away from the shed wall as you can. Put the fan/white noise machine between the shed wall and your bed. This is how I coped with loud roommates when I was in college. You will still be able to hear things, but it seriously reduces it. Also, earplugs are your friend. Quick tip: if you call someone's phone as the alarm is going off, it will usually turn it off. As for advice, I think other commenters are giving good feedback. BRUH. I felt this on a spiritual level. I can't sleep in the same room as my contacts. Case BC, the fizzing wakes me up, and I lived with someone who has snoozed 14 times for an important event. Please call her out. Talk to her about figuring out a system, because there have been too many times where my roommate had been woken up not by the several alarms, but by me going to her bed to try and snooze them for her. Sleep is important. It is worth it. It wouldn't be at all rude to let her know how it affects you. Absolutely go for it. Just make sure you frame it as a request rather than any kind of order, so as not to trigger a "you are not the boss of me" response. Your roommate is just like my husband. Luckily for me, I've trained myself to sleep through his alarms. You should definitely have a conversation about it. I don't know if you realize this, but the wall between us is really thin and I can hear your alarm. Every time the alarm is reset, it goes off for me, too. Don't need to be up most days until 20 time for class, so it really sucks to wake up super early. Is there any way that we can find a compromise? I'm betting your roommate is like me in college with crazy dreams of starting each day at dawn, when in reality my body just likes sleeping until noon. Lol. My 24 meters, GF 24F, of 3 years has always joked about shaving her head. Today she surprised me out of nowhere and did it. My girlfriend of 3 years has always joked about shaving her head. It's her body and she can do whatever she wants with it. Today she surprised me and chopped it all off down to a buzz cut. I genuinely do not know how to feel because, well, it just looks awful. I feel horrible saying that, but I can't change the fact that it just does not look good. I don't know how to handle this without being an asshole. I was already not supportive enough when she FaceTimed me and she started to get emotional. I tried to be honest but nice, but it was enough to make her cry. How can I be honest but supportive at the same time without hurting her feelings? What do I do? TL, doctor, my GF buzzed her hair and it doesn't look good. How do I handle this? You can be honest by saying things like, "I'm glad it makes you happy," or "I'm glad you finally did what you have wanted to do for so long." As long as she doesn't press you for your personal aesthetic preference, you don't have to bring it up to be honest with her. If she does, you can say, "Well, it's a big change, and I liked it when it was longer, so I need a little time to get used to this, but I'm glad you're happy with it." What exactly did you say to her on FaceTime? Honest but nice is not specific enough. It wasn't actually jokes. She was testing to see if you would be okay with the idea, and she thought you would be based on how you responded. Now she realizes you don't really seem to like it. I think you'll get used to it over time. My last girlfriend did this. She never joked/hinted about it first though, she just straight up did it one day and I found out when I got back from work. I never found it attractive and I told her I wasn't really into short hair, sorry, because it is best to be sincere about these things. Thankfully in my case she didn't get upset because she understood that it was a drastic change in appearance and ultimately she did it for herself. I stuck by her regardless because I was in love and in like a week I was over it and looked past it. We continued to date for another year before breaking up for other reasons. She kept relatively short hair the whole time and I adapted to her new look. My opinion is to be honest about how it looks to you, and if she continues to be upset, try to remind her that this was supposed to be her choice for herself. She shouldn't hold you emotionally hostage because of it. If you think it's too ugly to stay in a relationship, then consider ending it. In my case I was fine with it, but I understand that for some looking good can be a higher priority. You tell her it's brave and it's cool that she did a thing she always said she wanted to, because it is. You also beg off a bit, because you were surprised, and changes to a person's appearance often make their partners uncomfortable. Tell her that no, you're not loving it, but your opinion shouldn't be taken too seriously until you've had a bit of time to get used to it. because it probably shouldn't. You may still not like it in a week or two, or you may find your initial reaction was overblown. You should remain open the possibility that your initial reaction was overblown. And in a week or two, she'll probably be in a better place to form her own opinions and hear yours out without tears.